Hey guys, what's going on? inceptionxx here. Well, inceptionxx. I haven't said inceptionxx in the longest time. What's up, guys? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing a review for the gameplay patch. I've played 2 or 3 games so far, and to be honest, it's not like a huge significant difference, but the small things that I guess they patched and stuff does make a huge difference. So the general feel of the game is the exact same, right? It's when people say that the gameplay is slower, faster, blah blah, that's just because of inconsistent gameplay. So you guys already know that off the bat. That's something that EA needs to fix on their own. But we're gonna be talking about specific game mechanics, okay? So right now, it basically plays the exact same way, right? So, you know, defend with your CDMs, defend with your center mids, block the middle area. But now, in specific situations, right, for the finesse shots, some of the times you need to be controlling the person. You don't necessarily have to tackle the person in certain situations, right? Because the defensive AI still makes the blocks. Having a little bit of defensive AI is okay. Having a lot of it was the problem, right? So time finesse shots are still a thing, but the concerns of time finesse shots being more overpowered, honestly, it's not that big of a deal, because time finesse shots are always going to be a really effective way to score. But the concern was that the nerf of defensive AI was going to make time finesse shots more effective. But there is still defensive AI blocking these finesse shots, right? Obviously, it's still the best way to score in this game, but the way that your players react to it is still very similar. Now, the ones that are different, right, in terms of certain defensive blocks, and I just played a game right now on stream, right? I'm doing this recording live on stream. Is there's a specific shot that the defensive AI, when he blocks the ball, it's like he doesn't put that much effort into blocking it. One, when the person's not controlling it, or two, you've opened up the space for yourself. So there's certain areas of the pitch, right, where when you take the extra touch, before, defensive AI would save their life with certain tackles, right? But now there's certain tackles that they make in certain areas. They don't, the defensive AI doesn't fully commit to it anymore. And I'll show you guys an example, right? So this game that I just played right now, right? We're going to look at some of the highlights just from this one game, right? So the first goal that he scored was right here with Riyad Mahrez. So Riyad Mahrez, similar situation, right? He in this situation right here, you gotta be very careful when you're defending, right? This is why I don't like Fabinho too much, because this is where the 2 CDMs in the 4-2-3-1 are so important, right? This is why I don't like the 4-1-2 and 2 too much. Having the 2 CDMs to block that middle area for the finesse shots, really massive, right? So over here in this situation, right, he passes the ball down, he passes the ball upwards. This guy takes the small little touch, right? Second CDM, which doesn't exist because it's a 4-1-2 and 2, isn't in a good situation to block Mahrez. All he has to do is do a little bit of a pass right here. Mahrez has to do a little bit of a touch, right, just to get that finesse shot angle, and then he scores it, right? That's completely fine. But you'll notice the effort of how your secondary man blocks the ball. So you still see that these 2 guys are blocking it, but the effort of how they block it is different, right? So he scores that one. Time finesse shot, still very effective. It's the most effective way to score, right? Defensive AI is still a thing, but it's just specific AI tackles that's different, right? So let's see some other examples. So let's see a miss here with Riyad Mahrez. This one I think is just a generic one. So this is just me putting too much power in my... It was a good time finesse. I think I got it in the green, but I put too much power into the shot. So if I put a good amount of power, it could have resulted in a goal, but I just put too much into that one. The goal here with Salah is a time finesse shot in the white. So, you know, if you do time finesse shots in the white, it basically means that you're just doing a regular finesse shot. You're not actually doing a timed finesse shot. It's just, imagine if your time finishing was off. That's the type of finesse shot you're going to do. So they're still going to be effective. They're still going to work, right? But I didn't time it properly. You can see right here that I get it in the white, right? So when you get it in the white, it's just going to take a regular finesse shot. And then Salah scores that one in the 85th minute. Again, getting those angles, taking that little extra touch right there. But look at the way that your player gets the ball. He's controlling these guys around me, right? So when I take the time finesse shot, taking that 90-degree angle touch, right, to get the better angle for that finesse shot, right? When we take the shot, the effort isn't there because he's just running into me. He's not tackling. You can tell that his player doesn't tackle here. He's just running. But if he actually pressed B to tackle here, he can actually block this shot. You know what I'm saying? So this is a white shot, right? And then we have another situation here with Riyad Mahrez. These shots are inconsistent. So this is like shots like this. You have to like thank EA for scoring because they're all over the place sometimes. So I get the small little dabber of a touch because I see Mahrez making that run in the middle, right? I go upwards because this guy thinks, oh, maybe he's going to make the pass here. So what I actually go for, and to be honest, in this situation, I should actually be holding LB, the croqueta, right? And then Iniesta does. I should do that instead of the ball roll because it would be more effective. But I do the ball roll instead. And then here's the important thing. It's the ball roll, touch, and then I go for the driven shot. So I just put like almost full power, and almost full power seems more consistent than just like regular power. So when I do the almost full power, his player misses a slide tackle, we score that goal. So a pretty nice goal if you look at it from a general's perspective. A pretty nice goal if you look at it from a general perspective. You get the ball roll to get the extra angle, shoot it, and you score, right? That's how the defensive AI acts. When he's not controlling you anymore, he's controlling Sergio Ramos still, right? And that's how he acts towards the slide tackle. And then this is the big one, right? This one right here is the big difference with the gameplay patch. This is the effort of the defensive tackles. Let me just check something real quick here, just so I can see if the screen is showing. This one right here is the biggest difference. So this one, right? So pretty good build-up play. I'm running with Kyle Walker. I have nobody that's like really... I don't have a physical presence in the box. There's no point in me crossing this ball, right? Like I could cross it to Mbappe, who's free on the side, so it could have actually worked. Maybe a Y pass, to be honest, would have worked too. But what I actually end up doing is I go backwards here, right? Control the ball. Nice little Y pass just to get the ball a little bit in front of Salah. These are inconsistent at times. Sometimes it registers to the goalkeeper, right? But here's the nice thing, and this is the biggest difference with the gameplay patch. Salah takes the touch. I touch it downwards to get that angle on his left foot because that's his strong foot. And then I do a finesse shot. So this is going in. Look at who he's still controlling, right? He's still controlling the guy at the top. He's not controlling Carvajal because, again, the switch probably didn't work quick enough for him, to be honest. Like, it probably didn't switch to Carvajal that quick enough. But this is what the defensive AI does now. When Salah takes the shot, right, and this is only in specific areas, look at how Carvajal reacts to it. Right? The effort isn't as big. Now, some people might be really pissed off at that, right? But those types of opportunities was defensive AI saving your life. You know what I'm saying? And personally, for me, I like this because I did 2 or 3 different things to make this a skilled goal, right? If you look at it from a general perspective, right? I didn't overcommit on the cross here. I go backwards. I'm calm. I'm collective. I go backwards. I take the extra touch to get a better angle for the pass. I do the Y pass. I don't shoot it right away. I take the extra touch because I have the space. And then when I finesse it, his player doesn't do that much effort to actually blocking the ball because he's not controlling him, right? Those types of tackles is the ones that people need to analyze as they're playing because it's those ones that's going to be the game changers, right? Because I've noticed that when I'm controlling the person, the way that they tackle for the ball is better, but they're not making tackles in certain situations anymore, right? So personally, I like that. The attacking is the same. I've seen some people say that the difference of like they feel like they have to change the tactics because they feel like their tactics just no longer work for them. It's not gameplay changing. The gameplay hasn't changed at all. The fundamentals is still the exact same. But there are specific, I keep reiterating myself, but it's how it is, right? There are specific tackles that the AI will not make for you unless you are controlling them in certain positions now. That's just how it works now, right? The general passing plays, though, is the same. Constant pressure feels the exact same. I don't think they changed constant pressure. But I think that the stamina being depleted is a little bit more noticeable, but I still think constant pressure is still kind of effective. But here's a difference with constant pressure now, right? Constant pressure is the same, but people use it more during the end games now, right? They don't use it for the entirety of the game because the stamina on your players are going to deplete more now, right? So if you use it for the entire game, you're not going to have any stamina to be able to attack properly and defend properly, right? So constant pressure still works the exact same. So every player is basically marked, so you have to be very composed when you have the ball. Even though, is it a little bit overpowered? Yes, but I don't mind it as much because people are not using it for the entire game now, right? Because you will lose stamina really quickly. Now, here's the thing, right? Constant pressure is still very effective. So in the beginning, if they get those early goals against you, and then they go on balanced tactics for the rest of the game, that could work out really nicely too. So it's up to you to try not to concede in the early stages of the game. If you really want to, you can wear down his players if he's using constant pressure and you notice that he keeps using it. Just wear them down, wear them down, wear them down, and then use different instructions for different formations using the 4-2-3-1, right? Narrow. Keep your 3 cams to stay forward, right? Play with possession style gameplay so that your players come closer to you so you can make those 1-2 plays, exploit the space, right? So you can actually wear down your opposition now because they will lose stamina on constant pressuring for the entire game. So the people that I've been playing so far, right? The last 3 games, when they use constant pressure, it's been used more for the last few minutes of the game. It hasn't really been used for the entirety of the game anymore because they know that if they do that, it's over. So to be honest with you guys, the gameplay patch is not a big difference. It's not a huge difference, but there are specific areas that has made the game better to play, right? Now, again, inconsistent gameplay is still a thing. So if you feel like your game feels slower, faster, decent, whatever, that's just always been a thing in FIFA. They have to fix that themselves. But the specific game mechanics now are different, but not significantly different. But it made the game better, if that makes sense, because those small differences made a big difference, right? But the way that the game generally moves, the only time you would have to change your tactics is if you were using constant pressure before or using pressure on heavy touch before, because those are going to work differently now because of the new patch. I think that's pretty much it. The game, the fundamentals of the game is the exact same, but again, the specific things made the game slightly better to play, even with the inconsistent gameplay. Inconsistent gameplay, I'm telling you guys, if they fix it, this game will be the best, because honestly, there's a really good balance with everything now. Time finesse shots are still a little bit overpowered, but if you play in good gameplay, it's easier to defend against them, right? So we'll just see how it works. I do think that they're still very overpowered, but it's like a 50-50 right now. I don't like how overpowered they are, because I think it takes more skill to break someone's defense down, right? But honestly, I still think it could be the best FIFA ever, right? But that's like the biggest thing that you got to change now, because to be honest, it's better now. I still think that their 1v1 finishing still need to be improved a little bit, because I know from the patch they made the shots more concentrated, but they're not always concentrated. Even if you take the extra touch, they don't miss as often, but they still miss sometimes, right? From 1v1's good angles. So I still think EA needs to adjust those ones a little bit more to be a little bit more effective from good angles, right? I think the example that EA cannot show is the inside the foot is the outside the foot shot, because that's not a good example of showing your finishing. You have to show the finishing for the driven shots. You have to show the finishing for the finesse shots when you take the extra touch on the inside. You cannot show the shots with the outside of your foot like they did in the patch to show which areas work out the best, because the shots from driven shots are still inconsistent. And then the other thing that they mentioned that they fixed a lot was the finishing was the biggest one, and finishing is still weird from 1v1s, but it was something else, and I can't remember what it was. I don't know if my chat can tell me. It was something else. The 1v1s need to be improved a little bit. Oh, and the deflections and tackles. The tackles, there is that specific tackle where they lunge in and it pushes a ball further away, but there are specific tackles that they still need to improve on. I get that not every tackle should be in your possession, but there are specific ones that definitely should, right? So I think they need to look at it a little bit further and see which ones make sense to receive possession of the ball and which ones make sense to not receive possession of the ball. That's pretty much it, though. I think the patch has improved the game very slightly, but it still improved the game, in my opinion. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I can't really think of anything else at the top of my head. I think it's improved the game. The inconsistent gameplay is still very, very annoying, but I think that they did improve the game in the things that they did change. So that's the good thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video today. If you guys did, please drop a thumbs up on it if you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys for the next video. Peace. Love you guys.